Hey there, it's Jen, and I am excited to film the first process video for my popular series, which is called Collection Disconnection. This is where I take a single manufacturer's collection and make a whole bunch of different kinds and different styles of layouts using it. And for this specific series, I am doing the Pink Paislee Horizon collection by Paige Evans. So I'm going to create a layout today that uses minimal supplies because I want to show you how you can purchase just a couple of things and really get the feel and the look of the kit without having to get the entire collection. Although, of course, we all know that it's hard not to get the entire collection. But what I want to show you today is how I'm going to use the paper pad. And I haven't quite decided what other supply that I'll use, but I think it'll maybe be the alphabet or something like that, just to show you how you can use minimal supplies and still get a lot. So I think I mentioned this in the previous video where I showed what collection I was going to be using, but the paper pad comes with 2 of each paper, and so what I've done is I've cut apart the papers that I thought would add to my layouts, and so I've got a bunch of words that are cut apart from the paper pad. I cut out all these tiny little flowers from one of the paper pad pieces of paper, the bikes, the globes, the suitcases, and all of these butterflies and moths and things. And so I just wanted to show you that, I mean, if you want to put a little work in, you can spend less money and still get embellishments by just getting the paper pad. So there are also 3x4 cards here too. So maybe that's what I'll focus on, is the paper pad, and then we'll see what minimal supplies I can add to it to create this layout. I'm going to be scrapbooking 5 photos today. These are photos of my daughter on career day. She went to work with my brother-in-law, who is a dental technician. He makes teeth for dentists and stuff. And so I just wanted to document that, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to start by flipping through the paper pad to see if there's a paper that I want to use for a background. I originally thought I would just use white cardstock, but I am thinking about using this blue painted background for my base layer, and I'm also thinking about using those branding strips. Now, all of those have holes in them because they are from the paper pad, but there are fun ways to use those. I don't end up using them today, but I will come back to them in a future layout for this series. So now I'm looking through the pieces that I fussy cut from papers from the paper pad to see if any of them will work as embellishments on this layout. And so I'm going through the words now, and I pull out a whole bunch, and guess what? I end up using none of them. But I love them. They're cute. They'll get used somewhere else. So I'm just pulling ones that I think will work for this kind of career day theme that I've got going on. And I'm going to pull off that branding strip and put it in my pile of branding strips that will get shoved aside for another time. And I'm going to go ahead and cut up my photos. I'm just leaving a small border on these. I printed these on my Canon Selfie, which I hadn't used forever because I didn't think it was working, and then I turned it on and it worked, and now it's not working again, so that's frustrating. But anyway, so I printed them with a little bit of a white border, and I am just trimming them down. And then this is a layout design that I've done similarly in the past. When you have a lot of photos, I usually print my photos in 3x4 if I have multiples from one event. And it's fun to, I think this is just the design that I've been going to lately for a lot of things, but where you kind of put all of the embellishments and layering to one side of the layout and then leave the other side pretty white so that it can balance all of that weight of the photos and embellishment on the side. So I'm kind of going to layer my photos up as you see them right there now, and I'm playing around with those words to see if I like the way that they look when I kind of layer them on the photos. And what I decide to do for the embellishments for this page, besides using the paper pad, I'm also going to use these puffy stickers and the alphabets. So you could just use those puffy stickers if you found a title that would work for your layout, because I end up going to that for both embellishment and for part of my title, but I also wanted to spell out the words career day, and so I used the alphabet thickers for that too. So it will say discover career day, and I like that the word that I chose, the word discover, is a single color. A lot of those words are really cute and they have multiple colors on them. They kind of fade and have that ombre look, but because my title has multiple colors, then I decided to just go with a single color for that word. And I think that works really well. Sometimes it's hard to use thickers that have multiple colors, but I think that these ones are easier than some. So I popped up the photo of my daughter in her glasses, the one that's more close up of her face, because I love it, and I wanted to feature it a little bit, and then the other ones I just glued straight down. So I'm using my scrapbook.com double-sided tape adhesive for this, and I love that tape. It peels, like the backing peels off really easily, which if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that I think it's satisfying to peel off the backing, but that one's easy. It's not a frustrating job. So I also pulled out the globes because I thought that would kind of go along with this theme too. And I'll pull out a bunch that I think might work, and I'll end up just using one of them. But I think that these globes are super cute, and you don't only have to use them for things about travel. I think the one that I used says learn as you go, which is perfect. This was a school thing, and guess what? The globe helps to cover the ugly car in that top right photo. So I was happy about that too. And I am playing with those two little strips at the bottom, came from a cut apart sheet that was in the paper pad that say dream and happy today. I won't end up using happy today, but dream does make it onto the final layout. And then I'm using some of the puffy stickers that are little like phrase strips, and I'm putting them on 3 of my photos. And I'm going to pop up that little globe just to give it a little bit more, well, dimension, but I wanted it to be able to pop above that puffy piece too, so it just needed a little bit more height. And I am going to use my ruler to start where I want to put my word, but then I decided that I wanted it to be like kind of bounce up and down, and so it doesn't matter if it's actually straight because it has a bouncing baseline. So I was thinking about using those hearts. I like the way that those multicolored hearts balance the title, the multicolored title, but I will switch them out and add some little puffy hearts all around the layout here in just a minute. So I had kind of a little bit of a, like, I wouldn't say a hard time, but I went back and forth a lot about which specific little hearts to use, and I think I was just thinking a little too hard or something, but I'm going to use them in, I think, 3 different places. One is going to go in that little space next to the word day, and then I'm going to scatter them amongst my photos on the left as well. And I just love these puffy stickers. They are so cute. If you do end up getting one embellishment from this collection, I think this is a great one. It has words, it has little word stickers and hearts, and that's all you really need. And that's all I really used on this page. So I think that these couple of embellishments and the paper pad went far for me. So I decided not to add in any of the purple because there's no purple anywhere else. So I pulled off that little purple heart, and now I'm going to use these they're like letters and postcards. I cut these up from one of the patterned papers as well, and I'm going to use those to write my journaling on, and I think that's a really cute way to write journaling. And I also thought I was going to use these little circles. They're kind of like mail stamps, like they stamp on an envelope when you mail something, but I don't end up using them. So I pull them all out and I play around with them a bit, but they just didn't end up working. They didn't feel right. So I'll punch them out with my 1-inch circle punch, and I'll show you the top of my head apparently. And if you have a small piece of paper that you want to punch, here is a little hint for you. Grab a longer piece of paper, temporarily glue it to the top, and then you can have like a little handle to use instead of just trying to shove that tiny piece of paper in there. So don't know if that made sense. Don't know if you saw that, but there's my tip. I'm going to do it with this one as well. I'm trying to move it around with my little poker tool, but it's not working. So I just adhere it to that little piece of paper and then slide it in and punch it out. So that works out much more easily. I think that these would have worked definitely as embellishments, but just on this layout, they felt a little drab compared to the bright colors that I had going on everywhere else. So in a minute here, I will just stop the video to do my journaling, and I had more to say, and so I'll end up adding another little like letter or mail piece that I'll add a little bit more journaling to, right where the word dream is now, because I had just a little bit more journaling that I wanted to say. So I'll use my favorite black Muji pen. Before I get my journaling down, I'm just kind of wondering, do I want to add, there are these really cute clips in the collection, and I thought it would be fun to use them because she went to an office for a career day, but then they just didn't quite work out, so I decided not to. And then I stamped the date, and I stamped January instead of February, and I was mad about it, but I just ended up stamping it on a white sticker. These are We Are Memory Keepers typecast stickers, and I just stamped it and then put the sticker on top of where I stamped the date before. So that ended up working out fine. And now I'm just going to use some different spray mists in my stash to kind of sprinkle some color. I felt like it just needed a little something more. And so I'm doing like kind of a peachy pink, a bright pink, a green, and a blue. And if you can see, Malia is standing next to me pointing out things and saying hi on the camera. Oh, she just did the little heart for you. Anyway, I have a little swatch book of all of my colors, so I'm just trying to see which pink color will work best. And after I do that, I'm pretty much done. I'm going to add that little word dream back on. I decided to tuck it in at the top, kind of looks like a tab, and that will complete this layout for me. So you can see I'm just kind of trying it out there, and I decided that I liked it. So hopefully that you enjoyed this process, and I'm glad to be doing this series again. It's a popular one, so if you have the Pink Paislee Horizon collection, I hope that you will share the pages that you create. Join me over in my Facebook group, Crafty Use It or Lose It. It's always linked in the video description below the video, so you can check that out. And here are a couple other videos that you may like, including some of my past collection Disconnection series videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you join me again very soon.